First, let me welcome you to our second event in our Insurance Disruptors series. First, I'd like to do a few intros. I'm Eddie. I'm the founder and CEO of NewFinance, and we have Mark Pierce, who's here somewhere.
Hello, my name is Mark Pierce. I'm Head of Analytics at Iris. We're a technology company that supports the financial services industries. Delighted to be here today. I'm an avid user of wearable technology and all sorts of apps, so I'm really interested to see what you're going to say about insurance with regard to these.
What is that, Fitbit?
Jawbone.
Jawbone, okay. And we have Mella, our innovation designer, who's going to be scribing the whole thing today. One thing we do at the end of these sessions is we photograph, describe the documents we produce these videos, and we put the whole lot out to the whole group. So just a bit about the Insurance Disruptors series. This series is 5 workshops, seminars, and then a hackathon. The idea behind this is essentially to bring together the insurance industry with technologists and entrepreneurs and so on to create ideas about a new world of insurance. And we're going to have a hackathon in July where we bring all these different streams together. So our agenda, I'm just going to do a very quick thing on what is a quantified self. We've got Francis and Matt who are going to give us short talks. Francis has got a demo for us. We're going to have a couple of breakout sessions which are going to last about an hour. We've got some scenarios for you to work through. Then we'll do a learning reflection section, and then we'll close. So I'm just going to answer this question very simply. What is the quantified self? A movement to incorporate technology. It's a movement, basically. Life logging, wearables. It's been around for quite a while. When I looked at this, there are more companies than you can shake a stick at. So the structure of this market right now is colonization phase, huge number of companies entering it, more than I could list. And does anyone know of a useful directory of all the wearable companies, all the technologies? They do. Can you tell us what it is?
Wolfram Alpha. They have a Wolfram Alpha. That's the one. They've got a directory of wearables.
Yeah, I do know Wolfram. They've been around for a while. So they have a directory of wearables. Okay, I couldn't find one. The point is there are lots and lots of them. I'm not going to cover them all today. But interestingly, at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas earlier this year, this was the big story at the CES. So the current state of this market is large number of new entrants, colonization phase, but still relatively immature. Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough for those of you who are into wearables? Is that reasonable? Yep. So I'm going to hand over now to Francis White from AliveCorps.
Good morning. The fact that I'm here is illustrative of the fact that many streams are coming together all at once, and it's a really exciting time to be in this kind of space and this technology, and I hopefully can explain why I'm excited about it and why I moved my career into this space. Interestingly, if you're over 40, 1 in 4 of us will have a thing called AF, or atrial fibrillation, which I won't get technical about, but it's a problem with the heart, and it's got a 1 in 5 chance of you having a stroke. A stroke is the most feared medical condition in the UK, more feared than death, interestingly. But AF is often hidden, invisible, symptom-free, and we're walking around with it and we don't even know. So we have a way of finding it and finding a lot of other things, and it's on the back of your phone. It's a very simple attachment that's sticking on the back of any smartphone, tablet in the iOS or Android range. And it allows you to take a clinical grade ECG recording. But this allows you to then get a clinical report back within 24 hours on your phone. So normally if you had a heart condition or a worry, you'd go to your doctor, you'd wait 6 weeks, you'd have an ECG, you'd wait 6 weeks, you'd have an interpretation which told you something about how you were at that moment you had it recorded. Because all this does is capture, or any ECG captures how you are at this moment in time, which is not, again, that helpful. You need to capture things as your events change, as your activity changes, as your symptoms change. Good thing about this, you can carry it with you and capture any moment you like. We believe from all these ECGs that we're taking worldwide, we can start to predict things about you. We already know we can give history about you, but we can also maybe tell about the future, of what your future may or may not look like, your cardiac health. And that's the promise of big data, which we've got some scientists looking at the moment. And the way it works is you take a recording. So I'll just show. There's an app on here called AliveCorps, which you can download from the App Store or Google Play. And then you put your fingers on the back. And if I just press that there, that will come up with in about 5 seconds, it'll be my ECG.
So it just takes 5 seconds and you do it every day or whenever.
Yeah, we recommend people take it daily as a baseline, and then it's easy to see variation from baseline. The critical thing is if you feel any change, capture that moment. And that's the problem. People go around with symptoms that are really unfortunate, like dizziness or palpitations, and when they go to the doctor, they're fine.
Does anyone get the data? Can I use it? Does a doctor help me, or do I immediately get invalid insurance after using this?
At the moment, it goes onto a secure server in Ireland, which you can access only with your name and data. We then get that data without your name and so on, and we do meta-analysis and look at stuff.
Daniel Payne, I'm just wondering, at what point would you actually pick up the ECG data?
Typically, it's symptoms. Most people seek any kind of medical attention for symptoms.
So hi, my name's Emang. I work for Aviva, but I'm also a paediatric doctor, and sort of introduce Francis here. I think what's really interesting about this is exactly that. So as a doctor, when you see patients, you just see that snapshot, which is just increasingly not very useful. Well, actually, if you felt palpitations, how many people have felt them and then just ignored them and then not gone to see their doctor? And how many people are walking around with intermittent AF and then not really seeking to do anything about it? So I think there's a little bit here about reassurance in that bit around actually how can I take control, and the QS guide will know that. How can I take control of what I feel and convert that?
Or even, I know I have a condition.
Or family history is another one, say my dad had a heart attack or whatever else would be.
And people are buying them for relatives. It was listed in the US in one publication as the top Father's Day gift. So, please God, no, hang on, let's be careful.
Do you download a CSV file or something like that, or do you actually have to give you money every time that I want to see my own data?
From the app itself, you can email your rhythm strip to anybody. That's, again, you're sharing your data. You can go online and log in and see it. You can also share your data with your doctor if they invite you to share, and then they can log in and see all of your data, either reported or not reported, depending on what choices you've made.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you very much. Okay, we have another speaker, which is Matt Lewis from Quantified.
Thank you. Quantified is a quantified self-aggregation platform that allows people to make improvements to their health, fitness, and overall well-being by delivering powerful insights based on intelligent analysis of their quantified self-data. The reason why QS today is so exciting is because of this massive explosion in the number of devices, gadgets, and apps that are now on the market in the hands of your average consumer that's automatically collecting this information for them. We segment the market into 3 categories: wearables, connected medical devices, and tracking apps. So what is Quantified? Very soon, consumers are going to be swimming in a sea of a huge amount of quantified self-data, and Quantified was set up to address 3 challenges that we see arising with this new paradigm, and that's the challenge of aggregation, of analysis, and of access. So Quantified is first and foremost an aggregation platform. We allow our users to bring all their individual QS streams into a single location. We do that by connecting into the API streams of all the different products, all the different apps and devices. At the moment, we support about 18 different gadgets and apps. And with that aggregation, we offer our users a wide range of tools and services. I won't go into all of them here. I'll just point out a few. We allow our users to, on the app, they can identify a goal for any metric that they're following. They can set reminders, which is particularly useful for metrics that they're manually recording, like how much coffee they're drinking or any medication that they're taking. A reminder will ping you to remind you to record that measurement. The application is built on a social networking structure, so social networking is core to the app. And what it allows, amongst other things, is individual users to decide if they want to share specific metrics with others in the community. And that could be with a friend, or it could even be with a practitioner like a doctor or a therapist or even a coach or a trainer. Probably the most important feature is the analysis. And so in the current beta version of the app, we provide our users with some basic charting tools so they can plot, they can try and squeeze out correlations between various data sets. However, our vision is that while, at the moment it's a manual exercise, for this aggregation capability to really be adopted by the mass market, we have to do that analysis automatically for them. And so we are in the process of building an analytics engine where we will actually squeeze out those correlations and trends for them. And the hope that we have is that we will actually be able to make predictions and recommendations and even interventions on behalf of our users and just deliver that to them seamlessly. The next piece of the puzzle is access. And so Quantit is a platform, and we will be allowing other third parties to build their own QS apps on top of our framework. We envisage a market where companies like insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, health services, or any general developer builds their Quantified Self app on top of the Quantit framework. And in doing so, taking advantage of our aggregated data and the tools that we have to offer. We launched a beta version of our app on the App Store last summer, so it's been on the market for several months. We are in the final stages of delivering our API framework, which is a framework that other companies will be able to build on top of, and the plan is to have that opened up for access at the beginning of the summer. And finally, I should just say that we are in the process of raising seed financing through the Seedrs crowdfunding website. So if any of you are interested, you can go to seedrs.com and check us out. Thank you.
Can we grab a couple of questions from Matt?
Just on the analytics platform that you're building, are you actually building it yourself, or are you going to use some of the third-party analytics platforms out there? Because I was just wondering why you'd reinvent the wheel, sort of thing.
So to do the basic, initially we're starting with basic levels of correlation, and we're doing that ourselves. When we come to do more advanced things, we will evaluate what's out there and decide whether to build it ourselves or go with a third-party solution.
Hi, Rob Lander. How many users do you presently have?
We have 2,000 users. And that's primarily because it's a beta app. We've had it on the App Store, haven't really been marketing it. We're actually going to do, with the new API platform we're releasing, we're going to release an updated version of the app, and we hope to ramp our users past that.
Great, thanks.
It's Andrew Smith from Aviva. One of the key things with Quantified Self I'm interested in is you get the diet simulation where people start off and then they go away after a certain point of time. I know it's early days for Quantit, but have you seen any trends like that? Guys stick on it for 3 months and then disappear? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, and so yeah, we do see that amongst our users as you see it amongst all QS products. We believe the only way to encourage people to stay engaged is to, on a regular basis, feedback some really valuable insight that they're getting from leveraging their data in this way. On the diet side, though, there's some really interesting technical developments that people are putting out or hope to put on the market relatively quickly that will alleviate the hassle or the effort required to manually track your diet. There have been a couple of Kickstarter projects in the recent months of people essentially pitching handheld scanners that basically use a highly miniaturized mass spectrometer in a handheld product that essentially scans your meal, and it can tell you the calories and nutrients in it. They're all pretty ambitious projects. One of them actually sort of dropped out and had to return their money because they admitted they were being a little bit overzealous. But there's another company that are, they exceeded their raise and are pretty confident that they're going to be able to deliver on such a product.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so what we'll do now is go into a breakout session, and what we've got on the tables, we've got a couple of scenarios. We're going to allow about 45 minutes to an hour. If you could organise yourself to answer those scenarios, and then we're going to bring everyone back and we'll do a debrief on that particular breakout. So there are 2 scenarios to choose from. The first one is about ubiquitous data, which essentially is, what if the Internet of Things in QS totally matures and we all have access to everything? And I was saying earlier to someone that this sounds like a pipe dream, but if you think about the Bitcoin protocol, it's very, very similar. Everybody can see all the transactions. So this concept of everyone being able to see everything is not actually that new. The second scenario is Datacoin, a bit like Bitcoin, where data becomes a currency and individuals can actually sell their own data and trade it and so on and so forth, and data becomes what it's all about. So if you'd like to head for your tables, grab the sheets, there's materials on there, and there are whiteboards on the tables. If you draw on those, we'll actually photograph those later and build them into a pack.